Welcome, or hopefully welcome back to the Living in Naples channel. I'm James Headley. If you also happen to follow me on social media at my pages on Facebook or elsewhere, and I hope you do, you have likely noticed that I'm not one to sound the trumpets every time I'm fortunate enough to help a client buy or sell a home. That said, I hope you'll indulge me a bit in today's episode as I tell the story of a recent client closing. I'm doing so not to test the flexibility in my shoulder to pat myself on the back, but rather to give you, as a hopefully future client, a sense of how we might best work together to help you achieve a similarly successful closing. Before telling that story, let me thank you as always for subscribing to the channel, sharing it with others that may be interested in the Southwest Florida real estate market, and liking the videos here. Now on to this recent successful buyer story. The story of this couple's success, let's call them Steve and Mary to protect the innocent or the guilty, begins about a year before their closing. After watching a couple videos here on the channel, they reached out with a couple questions as they were trying to evaluate Naples and Marco versus each other and versus other potential retirement spots for their move from west of the Mississippi. Soon after narrowing the field a bit via email and text, we scheduled a call to get to know each other better and discuss what exactly they were looking for in a new home, and just as importantly, what they weren't. Immediately after that initial call, I was able to send them a subset of homes that were on the market at that time in Southwest Florida. And getting their feedback on this initial set of homes that matched up reasonably well with what we had discussed could be of interest allowed us to further refine their wish list. And from there, I would send them just those new listings each and every morning that were aligned with their wish list as opposed to everything new or updated on the market as they had been accustomed to in other home searches. It was rare that a week would go by without at least a couple of back and forth text or email exchanges or phone calls to discuss one or more of these listings in greater depth. For those that seemed like they could be potential buys, we would do video calls, or I would send them private video tours that I would record focusing on those things of the greatest importance to them. A few months into the process, they opted to come stay in Naples and meet with our team for the first time. And given their watching of the videos and are working together remotely, though, it was like they had been working with us for a long time. While they didn't see any homes worth making an offer on during that visit, the trip cemented their decision on which areas of Naples were the right place for them, and so we continued the process. It is worth noting as an aside that this couple was ideally targeting a spring 2025 move due to commitments in place in their current home. So even though we wrote a couple of offers along the way on those video homes, we did so strategically, knowing that the aim was either to find something that was such a great value that they could not pass it up and would probably take some time to do some renovations before moving after their commitments out west were behind them, or they could be patient and wait until the new year and move on their original schedule. If you ask them, they'll probably tell you that I was more often the one talking them out of homes versus pursuing something that I didn't think was a great fit, versus pushing them to buy something sooner rather than later. But to avoid making this story even longer, that brings us to the great house they just purchased. I had sent this home to them when it first hit the market with some of my perspective on its pluses and minuses. We agreed that it was worth keeping an eye on in case the price came down meaningfully. And lo and behold, that very thing happened on a Friday evening. The price drop of $100,000 wasn't 12 hours old before we were touring it on video and we're writing an offer that best positioned them vis-a-vis the other interest that, not surprisingly, was sparked by that attractive new price. I talk about writing the best offer elsewhere, so won't get into that or share any negotiating secrets here, but suffice it to say that Steve and Mary are excited to start their new life in Florida in 2025 in this amazing new home. If you would like to explore how we might work together in a way that is tailored specifically to your circumstances, please do not hesitate to contact me anytime. Until then, please keep subscribing, liking, and sharing, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks.